Hello there, parents. When we look at our three story problems tonight for greatest common factor and least common multiple, looking at number one, it says the Reinhold family has pizza once every 8 school days for dinner. At school, Mr. Reinhold's team of teachers orders pizza for lunch every 10 days. Today, Mr. Reinhold had the rare opportunity to eat pizza for both lunch and dinner, meaning those two events fell on the same day. How many more school days before this opportunity presents itself again? So we have to figure out after how many days will the every 8 days and the every 10 days happen on the same day. And the way we taught the kids to think about this is just think about, the every 8 days is going to happen on the multiples of 8s. Every 10 days are going to happen on the multiples of 10. So we have to figure out when those two line up. So when there are common multiples, which we could list the multiples of 8 and the multiples of 10 and just find when those happen. Or we could use our Venn diagram and factor trees to find the least common multiple. And to do that, we just make 8 into 4 times 2 and 4 into 2 times 2. So we know that 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. For 10, that's just 2 times 5. To make the Venn diagram, that's the 2 circle thing, they each have a 2 that they share, so that would go in the middle. The 8 has 2 2s that it doesn't share with the 10. The 10 has a 5 that it doesn't share with the 8. So this is what our Venn diagram would look like. Kids should be figuring out by now that to find least common multiple, we multiply everything together. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 5 is 40. So it should be 40 days later that those two events would happen at the same time. The next question says, for a Halloween celebration, one of Mr. Reinhold's students brought in 42 Tootsie Rolls and 56 Starbursts. Mr. Reinhold will only allow her to distribute the candy to her friends, it should say, if she promises to A, give each friend the exact same amount, and then B, give it all away, so there can't be any leftover pieces. We talked about this in class today, and then the question is, what's the greatest number of friends she could give her candy out to? And then the hint is that if she gives it to 2 friends, 21 Tootsie Rolls and 28 Starbursts each, that would meet the terms of the deal, but we want to know the maximum number of friends she could give to. So we are trying to divide 42 and 56 by the same number. So numbers you can divide numbers by are called the factors of that number. We want to find common factors between 42 and 56, and in fact we want to find the greatest common factor. So to do that, again, prime factorization, or we make factor trees for 42, which is 2 times 3 times 7. For 56, that will be 7 times 8. 8 is 4 times 2. 4 is 2 times 2. The Venn diagram would look like this. They each have a 2. Oop, that goes in the middle, sorry. That's the only thing they have in common. So a 3 would go here, a 7 would go here. Oh no, I'm sorry, they both have a 7. That would go there then. So 3 here and then 2 2s here. So we multiply everything that's in the middle. 7 times 2 is 14. So she could distribute that candy equally to 14 friends. And in that case, 42 divided by 14, they'd each get 3 of the Tootsie Rolls, and 56 divided by 14, they'd each get 4 Starbursts. The last question, I'll try and squeeze it onto this part of the paper here. The Pumpkin Carving Club, members only contest to create jack-o'-lantern display in the front office. It has 28 boys and 35 girls. The rules of the contest, each team must have the same amount of boys and the same amount of girls, not like 8 and 8, but however many boys and girls are in each, there has to be the same amount in every group. Also, everybody has to be in a group, so no leftover. So again, we're trying to divide these numbers by the same number, so we find the common factors with the greatest common factor. 28 is 4 times 7, that's 2 times 2, so we're there. This will be 5 times 7, so that's done. So my Venn diagram, if I squeeze it in down here, 7 is here, 5 is here, 2 and 2 is here. These are really easy when it's just one number, so the greatest common factor there will be 7. So if we're checking our work at home, we go back, the answer to number 1 should be 40, the answer to number 2 should be 14, and the last one there should be 7. Hopefully this helps you get your kids through these 3 problems. Thanks.